Yeah, well, I think, and this was very much the evidence in Southeast Asia, that COVID-19, sadly, from the beginning, has been a disease that discriminates. It's discriminated against the poorest countries. It's discriminated against the most vulnerable people in those countries. And it's even discriminated against smaller and less well-resourced companies. And so if we look across the region, you can see that countries that had greater, internal healthcare capacity, greater levels of wealth, China, South Korea, for example, just managed to come through this crisis better than some of the countries that had more middle income or lower income countries. And then you take another level down and you look inside those countries, and it's in fact the poorest, right? It's the poorest whose kids had the least ability to benefit from online education. It's the girls who got hit more than the boys. And some of these losses, you've put that number up of immediate impact of those in extreme poverty. I mean, that's a daunting number for a region that is on a multi-decade march out of poverty. To have a setback like this is really an extreme and unfortunate event. And some of these things, particularly the education losses, they persist. If you lose 2 years of secondary education or primary education, the numbers tell us that lasts for a long time. So the effect of this pandemic, unfortunately, in some ways, is going to be with us. Unfortunately, it's hurt the most vulnerable the most.
All right, so relatively less well-resourced, I get it, and therefore much more vulnerable and also fragile. Why do you think then that this part of the world, Southeast Asia, is well-positioned to bounce back from this pandemic?
Well, I think, countries in Southeast Asia, as I said, they're on a multi-decade journey, and governments now are much better resourced than they used to be. I'm in Jakarta now meeting a broad range of government officials. And I have to say, every single counterparty in government is on point and impressive. And so I think that general evolution of institutional capacity in government has been going on for some time. One thing that countries in the region learned after the Asian financial crisis is that they had to self-insure. And so we've seen central bank reserves build up. We've seen governments that have been fiscally prudent coming into this crisis. And so while they had to step up spending and while they had to expand the social safety net in important ways over the last couple of years, as they return to a posture of more fiscal conservatism, they're broadly in good economic health. And we know, I saw you just had the eminent Roger Ferguson on before me. We know we're going to see some choppy waters on the monetary policy side. Volatility always comes to emerging markets sooner or later. But broadly speaking, the countries of Southeast Asia have been taking care of their own house for some time. They've been taking care of their own house since the Asian financial crisis. And that's put them in a position to be able to weather the storm to some extent.
Hi, I'm Emily Tan, and thanks for watching CNBC. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.